Problems and solutions will always present themselves. It's the manner in which you take on a thing that really counts. For a long period of time, as the book says, right, you were able to be a fish out of water. But there does come a time in which the fish needs to return to the water, to its natural habitat, because that is its nature. Welcome to your Oracle Hour. This will be a message from Spirit straight to your ears. Before we get started, I'm just going to cleanse the energy in this space, just so that we can be clear about the messages that Spirit wants to give to us. I hope that you've had a wonderful week thus far. I hope that you are staying safe. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an overall energy, and then I'm going to get 3 supporting energies for that energy, and then I'm going to get 3 messages from Spirit on those energies. It could be advice, it could be recommendations, it can be anything that Spirit wants to tell you about the energies that have been displayed or demonstrated in the reading, okay? So just sit back, relax, grab you a little tea. And let's get started, shall we? Okay. Ooh. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull a few of them. Okay. So this is the overall energy here. I hope you'll be able to see this. You won't be able to see it, it's okay. All right, so your overall energy is the orphan. I don't know if you can see that. The alchemist. And childlike magic, basically, is what that is, right? It's the inner child. So the overall reading for this, the overall energy for this reading is independence, transformation, and the potential for sacred beauty. Independence, transformation, and seeing potential and beauty in things with that childlike perception, okay? All right, so that's the overall energy. Now I'm gonna pull the supporting energies. Once I pull all the cards, then we can get into it. Spirit, please give us the supporting energies for this reading. Take a deep breath for me. Release. We don't do reverses or upside down cards. So the first card out was spiritual strength, and the second one was victory and success, and the next one is partnerships and alliances. I feel like I need to pull one more. Okay. Wow, look at that. I needed to pull one more. Universe, this is your confirmation that this message is definitely from Spirit. Okay. Now let's pull messages about these energies from Spirit. What do you want me to use? All right. This will be your advice or okay. Cool. This energy is really feeling very calming. It's very, very delicious. That's fun. Next, Spirit. Let me switch decks. All right. I'm gonna switch decks now. I should have pulled this one out. No, I should have. It's okay. Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Look at that. Beautiful. Wow, that one just popped out. Ten of Cups. That's some good ass energy. Ten of Cups. Beautiful. Put that back. My bad. This one, huh? All right. Spirit is over here being picky. I want y'all to see that light. Get a little bit of that light in there. Okay. One more. Spirit, please. Jeez. Sensitivity. I already know what that is right there. Okay. All right. So your overall energy, let's start with this one. You have been put in a position to have to stand up for yourself. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. I wanted to say, in my brain I had, you've been put in a position to be independent, to be self-sufficient, but stand up for yourself came out of my mouth. So you've been put in a position to have to stand up for yourself, okay? And in this situation, you will need or have needed to really hone in on your skills, your gifts and abilities in order to make some things happen, is what I'm getting, right? And in the process, you have forgotten. Thank you, Spirit. In the process, you have forgotten what it's like to enjoy life, right? We have a mixture of feminine and masculine energy, right? When we're put in a position to have to stand up for ourselves, to be self-sufficient, to be independent, if this is a female energetic that I'm talking to, you have been put in a position to have to be more masculine, okay? And if this is a masculine that I am talking to, you have been put in a position to actually speak up on your own behalf, okay? With that, along the way, you have had to be very creative. You have had to problem solve. You have had to, just be a little bit more out there, a little bit more aggressive, a bit more rigid, but you have needed to do this in order to get some things done, right? Okay. You've had to transform into something that you were not previously. And then the process of becoming that thing that you needed to be in order to get shit done, you know what I mean? Like to show up in the best version of yourself in order to resolve whatever issues were coming your way, right? That's a completely different energy than being relaxed and finding beauty in life and really going with the flow, right? Because masculine energy is that energy that you use in order to move mountains, okay? If you look at the human biology between men and women, physically, men are stronger. The male human body is equipped with more physical strength. And so energetically or spiritually, you have had to come up with that strength in order to basically be who you are and be where you are today. But again, in the process, you have completely lost, not completely, but you have forgotten about the softer side of life, dreaming, creating, even possibly being in love, experiencing life in a way that makes you go to bed at night with a smile on your face. So this is your current energy. To further explain all of this, you have been showing a lot of spiritual strength, a lot of restraint. You have definitely developed attributes and features and characteristics about yourself that you did not have before. And this is something to be celebrated. This is something that you need to stop and look at and really understand how far you have come and where you have come from and where you are now, right? Along the way, you've been able to create alliances and partnerships that are actually going to work for you. In the past, you might have been in situations that were taking advantage of you, right? That left you depleted, which is why you became independent, which is why you became self-sufficient, right? These people and the energies that were not conducive to your advancement in life, to your success in life, you successfully released them and you got rid of it, right? And so Now you just have this open void, this open space, and all these accomplishments that you have achieved. And now it's time for something new, right? Now it's time to gather all of those things, to look at them, to celebrate them, all those achievements, and now and move forward in a different energy that's going to be more beneficial to the current position that you now have. See, being independent, being self-sufficient, being hard and aggressive got you to where you are right now. It got you there. But now the position that you're in requires a different energy. If there's one thing about life that we cannot change, is that it's the fact that life changes, that we go through ebbs and flows, ups and downs, rhythms and percussions, but you have to realize that none of it is a bad thing. Yes, you're in a position where you may need to change your, how can I say, your method of operating, but it's only because it's time and not because you're doing something wrong, okay? Now, messages from Spirit. This one in particular, I'm being led to actually read what this card stands for, okay? This is the card out of the Tarot of Orisha's deck, right? And it's the Ten of Water, okay? Which is the Ten of Cups, right? So you got double confirmation with the Ten of Cups, but I'm being led to read the actual meaning of this Ten of Water. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to switch those. You've been doing an amazing job thus far. All right. So it says the Ten of Water reveals what we have reached, plenitude, the highest or crowning point of our efforts and achievements. Remember, I said you've come to a place, right, where it's the pivoting moment. Now it's time to do something different, right? Okay, so this is the point that we're referring to in the book, okay? It says the Ten of Water reveals that we have reached plenitude, the highest or crowning point of our efforts and achievements. Since we reached number 1 by reducing the number 10, the communion of 10 fish forms a crown, centralized and unified power, showing the first summation of fish emerging from the water as a symbol of spiritual triumph reveals the 10th, I want to say, Sephira of Kabbalism, okay? One of these could be the 10 centimeter, hold on. Okay, so these fish can emerge from the water with the help of their pectoral fins and glide over the water with an indescribable skill. Like the jumping fish that lives in shallow waters in Africa, okay? These fish hold water in special sacs that keep their gills moist and enable them to live outside of their habitat for long periods of time. Now remember, we talked about you becoming self-sufficient and independent, right? And how this is something you had to transform into in order to get done the things that needed to be done at that time, right? And how you have forgotten the softer side of life, how you have, for a long period of time, as the book says, right? You were able to be a fish out of water, but there does come a time in which the fish needs to return to the water, to its natural habitat, because that is its nature. By nature, you have a childlike energy that needs to be acknowledged and addressed, okay? And when you don't do that, it's like being a fish out of water for a long period of time. I'll go on. So it says, the fish transcend their element, being able to survive with half of their bodies out of the water, forming a crown that represents friendship, a joining of forces, and a mental request or petition. They also have a cross bearers to say for a while in another context or environment, the air. Ask and be thankful through faith for the lasting joy that is not a gift from the Almighty, but comes from the learning process of each member of a couple or a group. This crown rewards the task performed. Everything has been fulfilled, for the Spirit is everything and the Spirit is in all things. Since the Spirit is the creation of God, the Creator presents in everything. Your partner will be prolific. Your offspring and or creations, whether literary, artistic, or other, will enjoy this life that embodies body, mind, and spirit. Total peace, okay? So this basically, it says, this is basically a message to you of job well done, okay? Job well done. You have made it to a pinnacle in life, whether you feel like you have or not. Okay, you'll know that this message resonates with you from the overall energy, okay? Whether you know it or not, you've made it to a place in life where it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's time to return to that childlike energy. Cultivate that, tend to it, love on it, and in the process, you will begin to be restored into that version of you that was before you had to be self-sufficient, before you had to, see now you're gonna be in this energy, you can return to this childlike energy, but with the skill sets that you have acquired along the way. Nothing will be lost. The only thing that needs to be changed or transmuted is the roughness and the hardness that you have had to use for this extended period of time in order to get to where you are right now, because you had no other way. You had no other method. You had no other information for you to be able to move the way that was necessary or that was called for in order for you to get to where you are right now, okay? Fairies, also another soft energy. It's time for you to be more lighthearted. It's time for you to enjoy your 10 of Cups. Like, what's the point in doing all of this work if at the end of all of the work, like, there's nothing to enjoy? Or you go straight into doing more work. Like, give yourself a break, okay? Which makes sense for this last Goddess card, right? Sensitivity. It's time to ease. It's time to soft live it now. It's time to ease up. It's time to live life a little bit more softer. It's time to, okay. Now remember we talked about the partnerships and alliances, right? You need to continue to, I want to say, man the gate, okay? but you don't have to do it in such a way that you're rude or aggressive or rough. You can speak those same words to people that you need to turn away from without the harsh language, without the hard feeling. The message will still get across. The message is still the same. The only difference is now you feel more comfortable in your body, right? Now you can actually enjoy the feelings of satisfaction because they're not being tainted by feelings of low vibrational energies, okay? All right, so that was your message, but I'm being led to pull a power thought card for you to meditate on, okay? This is an affirmation. Wow, okay, you gave me two. That's funny. Okay, so the affirmations that I've been given for you are, I am totally adequate for all situations, okay? It says, I am with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. What have we been talking about, right? You've had to do it the hard way before. You've had to stand up for yourself the hard way before. But now you can do it with ease because you don't need to be rough and rude anymore, because Spirit is revealing to you right now that there is a softer, more enjoyable way to stand up for yourself. You can stand up for yourself and not be upset, frustrated, or mad about the situation. You can do exactly what needs to be done moving forward, because life is going to continue to bring you situations that are challenges, because that's just a part of life. Problems and solutions will always present themselves. It's the manner in which you take on a thing that really counts, that matters, okay? So it says, I am totally adequate for all situations, okay? You don't have to transform into a hard turtle shell, okay? And then the next affirmation is, there is plenty for everyone, including me. Since the ocean of life is lavish with its abundance, all my needs and desires are met before I even ask. My good comes from everywhere and everyone and everything. So a lot of times what the frustration that we feel, or the ideal that we have to be harsh is because we feel like we have to be that way, okay? We feel like we have to be that way because a particular thing may be good or bad. But what this card is trying to tell you is, Spirit wants you to know that there is good in everything. And all you have to do is pick the goodness. Choose and decide to see the goodness in every person and every situation, because that is what will allow you to have a softer approach. It will allow you to keep a higher vibration when dealing with the challenges that are inevitable in life. It'll allow you to keep your softness, because you won't see a person or a situation as a completely bad situation, right? You can identify some of the good things in that situation, and it will allow you to stay on your high vibe ride. Okay, so I hope that you were able to get something out of this message. I really hope that you have an amazing day and a beautiful week. And until next time.